near the mother's mouth. Because he didn't want to be discovered, he had to do the following 3 steps. The first step was to stop urine with his feet. Next, took off his shirt and cleaned the floor. Finally, he took off the wet pants and hidden in a pot. In fact, the family had 5 people in all, but the father was currently in prison. Perhaps, he wanted to have a private room. The mother relied only on herself. She worked at the factory to get money to make a living. Because of poverty, 2 children weren't in a condition to go to school. The brother had stealthily hid some rice from every meal and took it to a place where they usually gather, then took out it. The boy had done that to feed the crows, then stole eggs from incubators. Perhaps the crows were also very grateful to the boy, so they were generous enough to let him steal the eggs. 2 boys reluctantly did that work because their mother didn't have enough money to get eggs. They were nicknamed the crow's eggs. They often picked up coal by the train tracks in their spare time, then went to the scrap collection place to sell. Conversely, the rich kids were thoughtless and playing remote control aircraft comfortably. This barrier was like a limit that 2 children could not cross. Soon after that, the tree which the birds nested had sawed up, because the land was about to be sold for construction. Everyone applauded. Only 2 boys had tears in their eyes because of regret. That day, the mother exchanged card for the poor for a TV. Finally, they were also watched TV for entertainment. But even if having that, they occasionally still ran to that vacant lot. Time went by. Soon after that, a pizza shop had been built. On the grand opening day, they also came to watch. Because it was opened near the slums, the pizza shop attracted media attention. It even invited famous artists to attend the ribbon-cutting ceremony. The artist's act of complimenting pizza very well had left a deep impression on the 2 kids' minds. What a coincidence. On TV they showed a commercial about pizza. They told their mother they wanted it. But she did refuse and even coldly say that they were like pizza. They were running out. At that time, there was a delivery man getting lost in the slums. So they showed him the way, and were watched how the pizza was. This was the first time they had seen pizza from such a close distance. The attractive colors on it were indeed very stimulating to the taste. So they were determined to try it. But the railroad worker told them that the cake was 300 rupees. They have to pick up an entire coal truck to afford it. When they got home, their grandmother looked at the pizza ad, feeling it was just a dish. It wasn't necessary to spend such a large amount. She told them to go buy a variety of vegetables and fruits, and then cutting the vegetables exactly like it was on TV. As a result, they had the same cake as on TV. But this cake didn't have cheese, so when bitten couldn't be extended like pizza. The taste was also not sweet, because she said that pizza couldn't be sweet. They were in a feeling like they had been cheated, so they were determined to get money to have it. The worker saw that the 2 brothers really wanted to eat pizza, so he gave the coal he collected to them to sell for money. They carefully picked up each lump of coal and sold it for money. They did have a goal to strive for, so they were doing their best. Finally, thanks to coal gathering, they did get enough money. After that, they happily went to the pizza shop, fulfilling their long-cherished dream. Unexpectedly, the 2 boys were blocked from entering. The guard said that this was where the rich could enter, so he refused to let the 2 boys enter. They were disappointed, and didn't understand why the guard knew they were from the slums. The worker said to them, "The clothes of you say it all." The boy smelled it. Indeed, he smelled a strong smell. But they didn't give up. They asked the rich boy where he could buy new clothes. The rich boy knew they wanted to eat pizza, so he left a piece for them. But it had marks. The younger brother, who just wanted to reach out, was knocked his hand away. The older brother decided to buy it himself, so he needed to buy new clothes first. But this amount was just enough to buy pizza, not enough to buy clothes. So they continued to pick up coals to quickly earn enough money. They also took on pushing the cart to bring the drunken bums to go home. But the quality of the trolley, the tools of practice, were really too poor. So they were trying to lift the sewer cover furtively. However, the difference was as minimal, and even alarmed the warning bell of the next car, making it ring loudly. They also tried to imitate people, snatching the phones of customers on the train. But they did chicken out. They were people of integrity. The brothers accepted to do odd jobs, whether they were scrubbing the wall or distributing flyers on the street. Seeing people enjoying pizza in the store, they had never stopped admiring. However, they made quite a bit of money as well. They went to buy new clothes on a luxury car, but the guardians here also didn't allow the 2 boys to enter. At the same moment, a father brought 2 boys out from a store. They asked their father to eat donuts. The father found that the cake sold on the roadside was very unhygienic, so he didn't buy it. At this moment, the father went into the store to pick up the phone. Realizing that the 2 boys really wanted to eat cake, he immediately came up with an idea. That was to buy 2 clothes that the other 2 boys just bought. It was also branded goods. After the dressing was finished, the children in the slums saw the brothers' new look, deeply admired. Finally, they went to the pizza shop to eat as expected. But when they went to the gate, the guard recognized them, so he refused to let them enter. The manager saw that, immediately went out. He assumed that they were going to mess up. Still slapped him a pain. Outside, the children were laughing at them. Their dream once again fell down. When they got home, hearing that their grandmother had passed away, and their mother was crying bitter tears just because they wanted to eat pizza, weren't able to say the last words. The mother really couldn't afford to pay for funeral expenses, so the brother gave up all the money to buy pizza for his mother. His dream of eating pizza that he always tried to fulfill had ended. The children in the slums still laughed at the fact that the brothers were beaten in front of the pizza store. They just wanted to buy pizza, but they were beaten by the manager, just because of their origin. A disheveled bearded man who accidentally filmed the whole incident wanted to use this clip to intimidate the owner of the pizza store to make a little money. The owner said that it took time to think about it. Then he held a meeting. Everyone offered to give money to the man, otherwise this would affect other affiliates. They immediately called him. The store accepted 100,000 rupees to buy back the clip. But he had lied to his accomplices that the store only offered 6,000 rupees and promised to divide the money with them. That day, he came to receive money from a pink shirt. But when he was about to leave, the clip which the manager beat the boy was shown on TV. He showed that he didn't know anything. At this moment, his comrade called to say that they had sold the clip to a person on the television station for 7,000 rupees. As a result, they made mincemeat of him. This called Diamond Cuts Diamond. The reporters began to go to the slums to report at the scene. The two brothers also saw a clip of their being beaten on TV, afraid of being discovered by their mother, so they hurriedly turned off the TV. But the bearded man told her that her sons were beaten. The mother rushed home but couldn't find the two children. So she went everywhere looking for them. It seems that all TV channels had reported about the two boys' incident. They were not without money, just because of their poor background. That night, the mother was both worried and heartbroken for her two children. The next day, the police came to her house and assisted her in finding them. The mother was so regretful that she should have given her money to buy a pizza. After being found, the two boys thought the police had come to arrest them and ran away. After hearing their mother's voice, they immediately ran back into her lap. The police drove them to the pizza store. At this time, the reporters and passers-by gathered in front of the store were even more crowded than the opening day. They were the main characters of today. In this moment, the flash was only focused on the two boys. Although their clothes were dirty and didn't have shoes, but they walked in the store bravely. Looking at the pizza, they didn't know what to do. The owner herself fed the pizza to them. The brothers' dream had finally come true. But after eating, they saw that the cakes of the grandmother still made better. This was a light film, without the typical Indian dance and singing performances. The movie was an arduous and tearful journey to enjoy the pizza of two boys. Although their living conditions were not adequate, they always strove to chase their dreams. Step by step,